rocking. You know, ain't nothing wrong with rocking. You know, if you got a baby and he's squealing and squalling, rock him a little bit. Usually they shut up. But you know, when you get into tables, chairs, stools, anything got 4 legs on it, you don't want to rock. But it sure happens. I've seen guys drive themselves absolutely nuts trying to fix it. You can measure and cut until you get this stool up to about here, and guess what? It'll still rock. There's a simple, easy way to fix it. And I'm going to show it to you. It's a very common problem, particularly in chairs. Chairs, you know, and like this is one of our chairs we're building. These things, you know, they're steam bent and all of these things, and when everything glue's dry and everything's settled down, they can twist pretty easy. So here's a way to handle it. A couple ways. Get yourself a really good flat level spot. And in case you don't know that, usually that's the top of your table saw. It's usually the flattest, levelest spot in your shop. All right. You can see this baby's got a rock to it. Now, I'm not going to fix this one yet, and the reason I'm not is because once I've got a big plank, solid plank seat goes on this, and once I do, it'll pull it in. Now, we also have an issue here. If you notice right over here, when this was put together, this front stretcher is down just a little bit on that leg. Now, once we sand that top down and that seat goes on there, that's a big heavy seat. What's going to happen is it's going to pull this leg up a little bit. Now, once my seat's on, I'm going to set it on my table saw. Now, here's the tip. When I build chairs, I always leave my legs 1/4, 3/8 of an inch longer than what I want the finished product to be. I purposely give myself leveling room. Now, I know my table saw is not dead level. I know that. Not in this spot in my shop. And it's set up so I can roll it around because of filming we have to. So I noticed that I'm on that side of the bubble. It's going to be on your right, my left. So what I'll do is I simply set it on a flat surface, set my finished chair up, and if you notice, I'm setting pretty close to level, but I still have a rock. How do I fix the rock? Let's take a look. Okay, we're going to use this old stool. It actually set level. I took a bandsaw and fixed it. And I got a really good rock in it. Now here's what I'm going to do. I've got myself a couple shims, just little wedges. And I want to even up on this and make this thing set level with my shims. Now, once I've got it level and it's setting firm, that's where it needs to sit. Then I simply take, this is so simple, I simply take me a piece of wood at whatever thickness I need, and I simply lay it on here, and I go around each foot. And make yourself a really nice line. Good dark line, and go around each foot until you have that line. This is going to give you dead level. Then, using a handsaw, rasp, sander, whatever you got that you can take that excess off with, that's what you do. It'll also make you set flat to the floor. Yeah, you got to wiggle around them shims a little bit. All right. Once you've done this on all 4 legs, come back, like I said, and take it down to the line. But you know what? And that works really, really, really nice. And it will level just about anything. You know, ironically, a 3-legged anything you make will pretty much always set level. A 4-legged anything that's in close proximity, in other words, the legs are close together, it's very common for you to get a rock. It's just the way it is. Wish it wasn't, but it is. And I guess I need to be the one to tell you that, because I hear a lot of guys say, oh man, you know, no, mine always come out perfect. Well, if yours does, that, tell me how, because mine don't. I always get a little something somewhere. All right. I'm going to cut this off, and we'll come back and take a look at how to finish it out and another method for taking care of it. Now what I did was I went over here to the bandsaw and just kind of halfway whacked these things off. And I wasn't real particular, but I'm not rocking now. I'm setting. Got a little bit. But if you notice, some of these places I'm not dead down flat on the surface. And sometimes you've just got a little minute bit you got to go. I'm going to show you a trick. What I'm going to do is I'm putting down just some of this easy release blue tape. Then on top, you guys have already figured it out. We call this a scoochie board. But we actually have one that is just a piece of 1/4-inch plywood. Excuse me, no it's not. It's a piece of 1/2-inch MDF. And I glued sandpaper all over it. I just took some scrap stuff, you know, whatever you can come up with. If you don't, now this is a PSA. And the reason I'm putting the blue tape down is 2 reasons. And one is it's going to keep me from gluing this stuff down to my saw and having to take a chance on having to chisel it off, because that stuff sticks pretty good. Now I'm using an 80 grit just because I want something that's going to cut pretty quick. And this is so difficult. And it doesn't take long, and you're sitting dead flat, and all your feet are sitting level on the ground. Works really quick and really slick. Now the reason for the tape, I can take my PSA off, put it right back on my little pad it came from, and I didn't waste my sandpaper. Yeah, like I said, you can use any kind of sandpaper and just tape it on, or what, you know, just get it on something good and hard and flat. Works really, really slick. So now you know how to get the rock out. Works nice.